G'day, I'm Tom from Purpose Built Moto, and sitting behind me is a Nemesis Scrambler. If you've been paying attention to our YouTube channel, this bike will be no stranger to you. We've made this thing from end to end with a camera in the garage. Jake's been filming the whole process and you can watch it from start to finish. Right now, we've just wrapped it up and I'm about to take you through the extensive modifications list that we've done to this thing to make sure it's ready for a 2-week adventure for a film we're making wide of the mark. Before I get into the details on this build, make sure you stick around at the end to see our mate Emma McFerrin putting the bike through its paces in its first off-road test ride. When building an adventure bike, it takes a lot of different thinking than your average custom. While building to meet the expectation on how I want it to look, you also need to think about how strong it's going to be. Will it carry the load that needs to be strapped to it? And if it's crashed, is it going to break? That said, creating this bike to look good and be able to make it through the adventure ride with wide of the mark was a challenge, but I did enjoy every step of the way. I wanted a really vintage desert sled feel for the bike, but as I do, I tried my best to add the PBM twist to it. So let me take you through on how I've done that and let me know what you think in the comments. If you want any more detail on any of the parts on this bike, make sure you check out our complete build series on the Purpose Built Moto channel. Starting with the 2016 Nemesis 400 from Sol Invictus, we stripped it down, and then the first bit was a fabrication on the front end. Fitting a set of Pro Taper fat bars, modifying the existing headlight and speedo mount to house an aluminium plate with a 4.5 PBM flash point and a mini high beam from Steady Lighting Australia. Then a small amount was added for the speedo. The mounts on this unit aren't real strong, so I had to disassemble the unit and fix my own stronger mounting points in the rear of the case. The next fabrication job was mounting the fenders. On the front, I used a really simple and strong method that mimics the old 1960s desert sleds, creating it with an aluminium fender and some stainless steel rod. For the rear, I used stainless steel again to create a subframe, using 10mm bar to create the tail hoop, fender mount and a rear tail light bracket. Then welding a few tabs to mount the polished alley fender. With the major fabrication jobs done, I got to work ticking boxes off the long list. Building a tail tidy, fitting motocross pegs, aluminium battery box and wiring in the switches. All custom work that takes time to do. The last touch on the Nemesis was making a little air filter guard for the outside near the rider's leg. Once that was done, the bike was completely stripped, catalogued and sent for paint and powder coat. I chose a bright silver powder coat that would complement the sky blue accents I wanted to use throughout the bike, trying through the design to make sure the colours were used properly and show that a bike could still look tough even when it's baby blue. With the tank left in a raw metal with some choice blue detail painted on, the reassembly was a really exciting time. I got to work with my mate Jake to put it all together, who filmed the build process on his own bike. The bars on this Sol Invictus are kitted out with the standard levers, fixed with Scrambler mirrors and my Purpose Built Moto 3-button switches. With that finished, Jameson from Timeless Auto Trim got busy making the seat and travel bags to be fitted up later on. We used a deep grey distressed leather and figured out a way to sew a gripper pad made from Alcantara. The seat covers the bike's electrics, which are all hidden under the seat in a slimline tray. After fitting the Electron carb and DNA filter, I started to think about the exhaust. With the twin exhaust port motor, I wrapped the 2 pipes around the engine, keeping them high, with a 2-into-1 collector then snaking a single pipe inside the frame and finishing off with a 1 5/8 inch torpedo muffler. Having built a whole series around this bike and getting to do it with a good mate who owns the Sol Invictus Nemesis makes this build pretty special for me. I can't wait to see what we can get done with it for wide of the mark and Emma McFerrin behind the handlebars. Now let's show you the test ride.